Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and today I thought I would come live just a little bit earlier because we are seeing a little bit of movement. I just want to update you with some of the stuff. Not, when I say movement, we're not seeing too much movement within Bitcoin this morning, but it's more on the DXY and it's more on the ES as well that I want to talk about because, we could see Bitcoin actually have another pullback because of what is happening on the DXY and on the likes of the ES as well. So I want to update you just quickly with that. And then, of course, if there is anything to update you with later on today, of course, I will update you with that. I will come live and I will talk you through that as well. But right now, I just want to talk about the scenarios that we could see within Bitcoin because there is still, a potential bullish scenario. However, it's not as likely as the bearish scenario. The bearish scenario is looking very likely right now. But there is a hint of bullishness coming through. So, I'm just going to make you aware of that as well. So, we're going to jump straight on into the video. Please make sure you smash a like on this video. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out and I can continue to bring this content for you as well. We'll jump straight on into the charts. So, taking a look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, we can see that Bitcoin, like I said yesterday, was most likely going to break towards the downside of this ascending parallel channel, and that is what has happened. Okay, we've had a break towards the downside and we are seeing this slow continuation towards the downside, and this is not a good sign. Okay, because we've broken towards the downside, there is a high chance that we are going to come down to $21,700 approximately, and potentially even $21,468, which is this next major level down here. So we've got to be very, very aware of that. Now, there's not a massive spike in volume on this break towards the downside. So that is signaling to me that there is a possibility that we could retest this previous support as resistance and then potentially get the leg down from there if we do see a rejection from this level, because as I said, the volume just isn't coming in. However, we could get the volume starting to kick in, which would then, push that price much lower. So yeah, Bitcoin has broken towards the downside. This is a very bearish sign. And then if we come to the DXY, we can see that the DXY today is continuing to push towards the upside. This is not a good thing for Bitcoin at all. We know that Bitcoin and the DXY are inversely correlated. DXY goes up, Bitcoin goes down. DXY goes down, Bitcoin goes up. Okay, so if we're seeing the DXY go up, we're going to see Bitcoin continue towards the downside. So this isn't a good sign at all. We have this major support level here. Okay, that was held as support and we are bouncing off it quite nicely. Well, I say quite nicely, quite badly for Bitcoin. The DXY is bouncing badly for Bitcoin. We want to see the DXY break this major support. Once it breaks this major support, I'd be happy to say that Bitcoin would be breaking 25,000 and then it could be on the way to 30,000. However, we are not breaking this level as of yet. We are continuing to bounce off this level and push towards the upside. So it's looking more likely that Bitcoin is going to come down to these next major levels, which I said, around $21,468 if that DXY continues to push towards the upside. We do have a major resistance level on the DXY, between between $104 and $106 approximately. So that is going to be very beneficial for Bitcoin if the DXY does use this as resistance. However, resistance can be broken. If that resistance is broken, then there's this next major resistance level up here, which is not going to be good if we do see the DXY come up there, because that means that Bitcoin is going to continue to push towards the downside. So if the DXY does come up to this resistance, we would hope to see the DXY get rejected from there and come back down to the supports down here, which would be good for Bitcoin. However, if we do break above this resistance, then it's not looking good for Bitcoin at all. Moving quickly on to the ES. The ES, as of today, is getting a rejection from this major resistance, which again, is not good for the price of Bitcoin and, for the rest of the crypto market as well. We would love to see the ES break above this. We would love to see the traditional market break above this resistance and then use that as support, because then we could start to see Bitcoin have, a bigger move towards the upside, as in breaking 21,000, which I'm sure we would all love to see. If Bitcoin can break 25,000, sorry, if Bitcoin can break 25,000 and use that as support, okay, then we could be looking towards 30,000, and we could be looking at the price, beginning that bull run. However, if we're going to continue to get rejected from these resistance levels, okay, and the DXY is going to continue to bounce off this support level here and continue towards the upside and potentially even break this resistance level here, then that's not going to be good for Bitcoin at all. Okay, so we've got to be very aware of that. And for me, looking at the DXY continuing to push towards the upside today, and looking at the ES continuing to pull back from this resistance level here, it's looking quite likely that Bitcoin is going to continue towards the downside. Okay, and I did say there's a slight, bullish indication coming through, but I don't reckon that is going to play out. What I was looking at, okay, is from this low right here, the price was actually, still is actually forming a higher high, a very, very slight higher high, and then the DXY is forming lower lows, and the RSI is coming into oversold territory. This is a very slight bullish signal, but initially, it's not enough for me to be happy that the price is going to continue towards the upside. We've broken a major support, okay? Coming to the daily, we got a bearish divergence here. We've been rejected from a major weekly level here. DXY is in that overextended territory, that overbought territory. And, as I said, bearish divergence is forming. Higher highs on the price action chart, lower lows on the RSI. So it's looking prime for a pullback within Bitcoin, which is obviously going to lead and follow through into the rest of the crypto market as well. So it's not looking good for Bitcoin right now. Even looking at a fundamental basis, okay, I am a technical analysis. I tend to just look at the technicals, but again, we do have to look at the fundamentals as well. Okay, 2 year has exceeded the 10-year yield. Every time that has happened, it's led into a recession, okay, and that is what is happening right now. 2 year has exceeded the 10-year, and there could be a recession looming. If not, we are already in a recession, okay? So we've got to be aware of that. If we're going to be in a recession, the traditional markets are going to dump, which is going to feed into the crypto markets. So the crypto markets will dump because of that as well. Okay, we also have the Fed increasing rates. Yes, they're increasing by a decreased amount, but initially they're still increasing, which is very, very bad. Which is very, very bad for the markets as well. What else as well? I've been talking about this over the past few days now. We're looking very, very similar to this anger phase on the psychology of a market cycle. Okay, we formed a low, we formed a high, we formed a lower low, we formed a lower high. Okay, that's exactly what we've done on this weekly chart. We formed a low, we formed a high, we formed a lower low, we formed a lower high. Okay, and now, as of now, we have formed that, last night, we have formed that lower high. And if we do continue towards the downside here, I think, it's looking very, very likely that we are going to come into this depression phase. We're going to slowly churn our way down, forming another low of the bear market, okay, into this depression phase. And then we can start coming into that disbelief phase. Yes, we could be in that disbelief phase now, and that's why it's called a disbelief phase. But for me right now, it looks as though we're leaving this anger phase, coming into this depression phase here, where we form another low within that bear market. Okay, it's looking almost identical. Okay, the price of Bitcoin on the weekly chart here is looking almost identical to this psychology of a market cycle. This part here, okay, this section here, this anger section is looking very, very similar to where we are right now. So we've got to be very aware of that. And the technicals and the fundamentals are also lining up pretty well with this as well, telling us that the price could be having this last capitulation event towards the downside, this last pullback, this last low of the bear market. What I spoke about, 2 years exceeded the 10-year recession. We go into recession, Bitcoin's going to have another leg towards the downside and form another low. The Fed, okay, are still increasing rates. Okay, that's still bad for the market. Yes, they're increasing by a decreased amount, but initially still bearish for the market as well. Okay, and looking at the technicals as well. Okay, coming over to the technicals, what we can actually see is that there is a bearish divergence forming on the weekly chart. Okay, we have now formed a lower low on the price action chart. Okay, this is the high. Okay, then we have a lower high right here. Then we come to the RSI. We can see we're very clearly forming higher highs right there. This is a hidden bearish divergence. And, the last time that we've seen a divergence was actually a bullish divergence. Okay, we were forming lower lows on the price action charts, but RSI was forming higher highs. Okay, that, in fact, did play out, and we did get a nice move towards the upside. But now we are seeing a bearish divergence, okay? And we are getting rejected from this major resistance level here. We tested it pretty much to the dollar, as you can see right there, pretty much to the dollar, and we are getting a rejection, okay? So rejection from resistance, and we are also forming a bearish divergence. Then coming onto the daily, overextended bearish divergences on the daily as well. So lots of bearish indications on the technical side of things as well. So for me, where looking at what the market is telling me right now, the market is telling me that we could potentially see the price slowly sort of churn its way down, potentially to 14,000, where we could hold support there. However, if it breaks 14,000, we could slowly churn down to 12,000, maybe even 10,000 as well. Okay, and then we have a little push towards the upside, some accumulation, and then we go into that disbelief phase. This is how I see the market playing out over the course of this first half of 2023. I think this is the more realistic scenario. Yes, we could break these resistances, and if we break these resistances above us, we break 25,000 and we use that support, that will invalidate this, of course. But if we're not going to break that, this is the realistic scenario that I see, slowly churning our way down, okay, down to 14,000, 12,000, 10,000, accumulation here. Then we get into that disbelief phase, okay? But right now, I just don't see any signs to get too bullish right now. I know a lot of people are getting very bullish. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of people on Twitter are getting very bullish. For me right now is not the time to be getting bullish. I'm seeing a lot of bearish signs, on the technicals and on the fundamentals as well. So we just got to be aware of that, and you just can't get ahead of yourself. You just can't get bullish, okay, because the price is having a nice push towards the upside. You have to remember, in bear markets, you do have bear market rallies. Okay, looking at this cheat sheet, you can very clearly see here. Okay, we've had this massive pullback, which we've seen over the course of the end of 2021 and throughout the course of 2022. Okay, throughout the course of 2022, we've had this, and this is where I think we are. Okay, and you can see, within bear markets, okay, within this psychology of a market cycle, you can see we have nice runs towards the upside. This run here, okay, that's a nice run. Then we have another leg towards the downside. Then we have another nice run towards the upside, as you can see. Within a bear market, you do have these bear market rallies. Okay, you've got to be aware of that. But these bear market rallies, if they cannot continue, they are going to turn into another leg towards the downside. And as I said, if the price cannot break above this resistance here, then this is what's going to happen. We're going to see this happen most likely. Okay, we're going to see the price slowly churn its way down to a new low, into that depression phase. And then we are going to, go onwards and upwards from there. But until we do have this last leg towards the downside, I don't think we're going to see any more upside personally. Okay, I could be wrong. And that's why, this phase here is called the disbelief phase. Okay, that's why it's called the disbelief phase. Okay, everyone is calling this is saying this is a suckers rally. Okay, and potentially, this could be a suckers rally. This is what I'm sort of leaning towards right now, that this is just a bull market rally, which is most likely going to lead into another leg towards the downside. But just looking at other things as well. Let's pull up this as well. We tend to see, okay, within a bear market, okay, we do tend to see over an 80% pullback. Okay, so here on the 2013, 2014 bear market, 86.9% pullback, and within the 2018 sort of 2019 bear market, we saw an 84.12% pullback. Okay, and for us to get sort of on an average, we would have to come down to around 10,000. Now, I'm not saying the price is going to come down to 12,000, because there's major support at 14,000. There's also major support at 12,000. So we could hold support there if the price does come down there. But we have to just remember 10,000 is still not off the table, 12,000 is still not off the table, 14,000 is still not off the table. We're getting bearish signs on the technicals and the fundamentals as well. So we just have to be aware of that and just do not get too bullish right now until, of course, okay, we can get bullish if we break 25,000 and then we use that as support. We can get bullish then. That is the time to get bullish. But right now, whilst we're below it, it's not the time to get bullish, okay, because we're forming bearish divergences. We're looking very similar to that anger phase on the psychology of a market cycle, which what happens after that? Well, we lead into that depression phase where we have another leg down we have another leg down within that bear market. We form another low within the bear market. We're forming loads of bearish divergences everywhere. We're breaking support, okay, on the likes of the 4-hour here, okay, giving us lower targets of, the first target of around $21,468. If we break that, we could go much lower. And if we were to break that, the next level that I would be looking at the price coming to would be on this daily chart here, would be, around $18,900 approximately. That's where I would see the price coming to. Let's look at the comments quick. Charlie, do you think we have broken out of a long-term downtrend? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. We could argue that, okay, looking at the weekly, we could argue that we've got a high, we've got a low, we've got a higher, we've got a lower high, sorry, we've got a lower low, lower high, lower low here, and, we could have broke, personally for me, looking at this, to be honest, this would be the next lower low, this would be the next lower high, this would be the next lower low, and this could be a higher low from this low here, depending on how you're looking at it. To be honest with you, I would look at it like this, as this was just a move towards the downside rather than forming lower highs and lower lows. So this would be the next lower low, and then this would be the next lower high right here. So personally for me, no, I don't think that we've broken out of a long term. When you say long term, I'm thinking of the weekly. Okay, I don't think we've broken this downtrend as of yet. And, this is what I'm talking about. If we can break 25,000, okay, we break this high here, that is the break of this long-term downtrend, okay? But as of right now, we haven't done that, and we're forming these bearish divergences as well, okay? Let's just get rid of this bear market percentage quick. And, we can see this, okay? We're forming this bearish divergence here. Lower lows on the price action chart, hidden bearish divergence. Lower lows on the price action chart, higher highs on the RSI, textbook hidden bearish divergence, okay? And we haven't broken this high here. So personally for me, maybe in the midterm and the shorter term, yes, we have broken these downtrends. But on the longer term, and when you say longer term, I'm thinking about the weekly, I don't think we've broken this downtrend as of yet. We need to break 25,000, use that support, and then continue towards the upside for us to break that long-term downtrend. Angela M, we love you, AJ. Thank you very much. I love bringing this content to you. So if you could just smash a like on this video, I would really, really appreciate that. Can Bitcoin break lower low? Yes, I think that's a possibility that Bitcoin could break, this. Well, if you're it depends what lower low you're talking about. If you're talking about the low of the bear market at around $15,500, $600, I do still think that's a possibility. Of course, we're going to have strong support at sort of $18,800 and $19,800. Okay, so that's going to be a critical level if the price does come down to there. But if it breaks that, then yes, I think we are going to form another low. I do still think, we're in this anger phase of this psychology of a market cycle, and leaving this anger phase, leading into this depression phase. That's where I think we are. I think we are right here within the market, okay, literally right here, and we are going to slowly make our way down, forming another low. Whether that be 14,000, 12,000, 10,000, we don't know as of yet. But I think, this is what is going to happen. Looking at the technicals, looking at the fundamentals, it is screaming another leg down. Okay. And I could be wrong. Okay. I could be wrong, but that's what it's screaming to me right now. And, what we could see is that Bitcoin breaks 25,000, uses it as support and continues towards the upside and would most likely go to 30K. But because we're still below 25,000, I'm not going to get bullish at all. Okay, so yes, I think Bitcoin can break lower low. Yes, I do. yeah, I think that's everything I've got for you today. Please make sure you smash a like on this video. Of course, if there is anything I need to update you with, then you will be the first people to know about it. I will come live and I will update you with that. But the main focus today is Bitcoin going to break this low here at $22,800 approximately? If it does, in the next sort of hour or over the course of today, if it does break this low here, then that bearish divergence would be invalid. But then we would need to sort of break as well, let's say $22,600 as well, as if we come onto the likes of the 8 hour, we could still be forming a bullish divergence there as well. So for the bearish scenario to play out, it does need to break $22,600, a candle break below that, and then I would expect a continuation towards the downside for Bitcoin. But yeah, just keeping an eye on the ES and the DXY. DXY is continuing to push towards the upside. The ES is continuing to get rejected from this resistance and is pulling back right now. So that is going to be very, very bearish for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is most likely going to have another leg towards the downside today if that continues on the DXY and the ES. Okay. So just keep an eye out for that. And as I said, if anything changes, if anything happens, I will be coming live for you, and I will update you, and I will talk you through what is going on, and where the next levels are. Or as I said, the next level I'm looking at the price coming to now is $21,468. Once we get there, if we get there, I will reevaluate. I will assess whether the price is going to bounce, or is the price going to break towards the downside and continue to move lower. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please smash a like on this video. I would really appreciate it. Really helps the channel out, really helps me out, and I can continue to bring this content and the trades that I bring you as well. So please smash a like on this video, and I will see you potentially later on today if there's anything to update you with. If not, I will see you tomorrow for the normal live stream. So thank you very much, guys, and I will see you later.